Question 1. A project manager is leading a complex software development project. The project team, while skilled, is new to working together and has encountered several unforeseen technical challenges requiring creative solutions. The project sponsor is highly engaged and frequently offers suggestions for new features. In this dynamic environment, which of the following actions best aligns with the project work performance domain? A. Developing a detailed project schedule with fixed milestones and strict adherence to baselines. B. Prioritizing the continuous delivery of small, valuable increments to gather early feedback. C. Documenting all stakeholder suggestions for features in a comprehensive change log for later review. D. Escalating all technical challenges to the project sponsor for immediate resolution. Answer: B. Prioritizing the continuous delivery of small, valuable increments to gather early feedback. The project work performance domain focuses on carrying out the project activities and managing resources to achieve project objectives, often emphasizing efficiency and adaptability. In a complex, dynamic environment with unforeseen challenges, delivering small, valuable increments allows the team to learn quickly from feedback, adapt solutions, and ensure that the work performed continuously provides value to the stakeholders. This iterative approach helps refine requirements and validate solutions much earlier than a traditional, rigid schedule, reducing the risk of developing the wrong product. Always prioritize delivering value incrementally, especially when uncertainty is high. Question 2. A project manager has taken over a struggling infrastructure project. The team morale is low, and conflicts often arise due to unclear roles and responsibilities. Stakeholders are frequently expressing dissatisfaction with the lack of progress and transparency. Which of the following should be the project manager's primary focus, according to the team performance domain? A. Implementing a strict performance monitoring system to track individual productivity. B. Establishing clear communication channels and fostering a collaborative environment. C. Redefining the project scope to reduce complexity and minimize potential conflicts. D. Reporting all team issues to senior management for disciplinary action. Answer: B. Establishing clear communication channels and fostering a collaborative environment. The team performance domain emphasizes guiding and motivating project team members, ensuring they have the necessary skills and environment to perform effectively. In this scenario, addressing low morale, conflicts, and unclear roles directly by fostering open communication and collaboration is crucial for team health and productivity. A healthy team environment, where members feel supported and understand their contributions, is foundational for successful project delivery. Remember that a project manager's role includes creating an environment where the team can thrive and self-organize. Question 3. A new product development project is underway, and the project manager notices that initial market research indicates evolving customer preferences for a key feature. The product owner is hesitant to change the original plan, fearing scope creep. How should the project manager best address this situation, aligning with the delivery performance domain? A. Insist on adhering strictly to the original baseline to avoid scope creep and maintain control. B. Engage with the product owner and stakeholders to re-evaluate the value of adapting the feature to meet evolving needs. C. Document the market research findings but proceed with the original plan, noting the potential risk. D. Unilaterally decide to incorporate the new customer preferences without further discussion. Answer: B. Engage with the product owner and stakeholders to re-evaluate the value of adapting the feature to meet evolving needs. The delivery performance domain focuses on delivering the scope and quality that the project was undertaken to achieve, while also emphasizing value creation. In a dynamic environment, achieving delivery involves continuous re-evaluation of what constitutes value to ensure the project outcome remains relevant to the evolving needs of the customers. Engaging stakeholders to reassess and potentially adapt the feature demonstrates a commitment to delivering a valuable product that meets current market demands rather than just adhering to an outdated plan. Always prioritize delivering value over strict adherence to an initial plan when conditions change. Question 4. During a project retrospective, the team identifies that a significant amount of time was spent on rework due to a lack of clear requirements at the start of each iteration. The project manager wants to implement a change to prevent this in future sprints. Which of the following actions best aligns with the measurement performance domain? A. Immediately mandate a new, highly detailed documentation process for all requirements. B. Implement a qualitative survey to understand team members' perceptions of requirement clarity. C. Define and track a metric, such as rework hours per iteration related to unclear requirements, to assess the impact of changes. D. Assign a dedicated business analyst to write all requirements before development begins. Answer: C. Define and track a metric, such as rework hours per iteration related to unclear requirements, to assess the impact of changes. The measurement performance domain focuses on evaluating project progress and performance to inform decision-making. To effectively address the identified issue of rework due to unclear requirements, it's essential to quantify the problem and measure the impact of any implemented solution. Defining a specific, measurable metric allows the team to objectively assess if changes are leading to improvement, providing data-driven insights. Remember, you can't improve what you don't measure effectively, so focus on actionable data points. Question 5. A project is nearing its planned completion, but a key stakeholder expresses concerns that the final product does not fully address an emerging market trend. The project manager understands that incorporating this trend now would require significant rework and delay. What is the most appropriate action for the project manager to take, considering the overall value delivery? A. Reject the stakeholder's concern, emphasizing adherence to the approved scope baseline. B. Initiate a formal change request to incorporate the new market trend, delaying project completion. C. Deliver the current product as planned and discuss the emerging market trend as a potential future phase or new project. D. Urge the team to incorporate the changes quickly without formal approval to satisfy the stakeholder. Answer: C. Deliver the current product as planned and discuss the emerging market trend as a potential future phase or new project. The delivery performance domain emphasizes achieving the project's intended outcomes and delivering the value it was undertaken to create. While adapting to emerging needs is important, a project manager must balance delivering the agreed-upon scope with new requests, especially when the project is nearing completion. Discussing the emerging market trend as a potential follow-on project ensures that the current project delivers its defined value without significant delays or scope creep, while still acknowledging and planning for future opportunities. Prioritizing current delivery helps maintain focus and ensures that completed work provides immediate value. Question 6. A project manager is leading a global project with team members distributed across different time zones and cultures. Communication has been a challenge, leading to misunderstandings and delays. To improve this, the project manager decides to invest in a unified communication platform and schedule overlapping work hours when possible. Which PMBOK 7 performance domain is primarily addressed by these actions? A. Planning performance domain. B. Project work performance domain. C. Team performance domain. D. Measurement performance domain. Answer: C. Team performance domain. The team performance domain focuses on activities and functions associated with organizing, guiding, and motivating the project team. Addressing communication challenges, especially in a distributed team, directly contributes to improving team effectiveness and fostering a collaborative environment. By investing in better tools and aligning work hours, the project manager is creating conditions that enable the team to perform more cohesively and efficiently, which is a core aspect of developing and supporting a high-performing team. Remember, a well-supported and communicative team is often a high-performing one. Question 7. A project team is using an Agile approach for a new mobile application. During a sprint review, a key stakeholder suggests a significant change to the user interface that was not originally prioritized. The product owner supports the change, believing it adds significant value. What is the most appropriate action for the project manager to take regarding this new request? A. Inform the stakeholder that the change cannot be accommodated as it falls outside the current sprint scope. B. Add the change to the backlog and work with the product owner to prioritize it against other features. C. Immediately instruct the development team to implement the change in the current sprint. D. Escalate the issue to the project sponsor for a final decision on whether to include the change. Answer: B. Add the change to the backlog and work with the product owner to prioritize it against other features. In an Agile context, the development approach and life cycle performance domain emphasizes adapting to change and delivering value iteratively. When new, valuable ideas emerge, the Agile approach encourages adding them to the product backlog where the product owner can prioritize them alongside other existing features. This allows for flexibility and ensures that the most valuable work is always being undertaken, without disrupting ongoing sprint commitments. Always use the backlog as the central repository for new ideas and prioritize them based on value. Question 8. The project manager for a new enterprise resource planning (ERP) system implementation is in the initial phases. They are conducting detailed analysis of the current business processes, identifying critical success factors, and engaging with departmental heads to understand their specific needs and concerns. Which PMBOK 7 performance domain is most prominent in these activities? A. Delivery performance domain. B. Planning performance domain. C. Uncertainty performance domain. D. Measurement performance domain. Answer: B. Planning performance domain. The planning performance domain focuses on organizing, developing, and coordinating project work throughout the project. Activities like detailed analysis of processes, identifying critical success factors, and engaging with stakeholders to understand needs are all foundational planning activities that set the stage for how the project will proceed. This domain emphasizes proactive thinking and preparation to ensure the project has a clear roadmap for achieving its objectives. Effective planning lays the groundwork for successful project execution and outcome delivery. Question 9. During the execution of a software development project, the development team identifies a new, complex technical dependency that was not previously known. This dependency could significantly impact the project schedule and budget. What is the most appropriate action for the project manager to take, aligning with the uncertainty performance domain? A. Instruct the team to ignore the dependency and continue working on the current tasks. B. Immediately inform the sponsor and request additional budget and time without further analysis. C. Facilitate a team discussion to assess the nature and impact of the dependency, and develop mitigation strategies or contingency plans. D. Blame the planning team for not identifying this dependency earlier. Answer: C. Facilitate a team discussion to assess the nature and impact of the dependency, and develop mitigation strategies or contingency plans. The uncertainty performance domain addresses the inherent unpredictability in projects, focusing on managing risks and opportunities. When a new, significant dependency emerges, the project manager's role is to facilitate a thorough assessment of its nature, potential impact, and then collaboratively develop strategies to respond. This proactive approach helps to mitigate the negative effects of the uncertainty and potentially convert a threat into an opportunity. Proactive risk management is key to navigating the unpredictable nature of projects. Question 10. A project team has just completed a major deliverable for an external client. Upon review, the client expresses satisfaction but also points out a minor aesthetic detail that deviates slightly from their initial, less specific, vision. The deviation does not affect functionality or core requirements. How should the project manager respond to this situation, considering the delivery performance domain? A. Agree to immediately fix the aesthetic detail, even if it delays subsequent deliverables. B. Explain that the detail falls outside the documented scope and refuse to make changes. C. Acknowledge the client's feedback, assess the effort to change the detail versus the value added, and discuss options, potentially noting it for a future iteration. D. Blame the development team for not understanding the client's vision. Answer: C. Acknowledge the client's feedback, assess the effort to change the detail versus the value added, and discuss options, potentially noting it for a future iteration. The delivery performance domain is concerned with achieving the project's scope and quality objectives to deliver value. While fulfilling requirements is key, a project manager also balances delivering against a baseline with adapting to evolving stakeholder perspectives and managing expectations. In this scenario, assessing the impact of the change against the value it adds, and discussing options with the client, ensures continued satisfaction without necessarily disrupting the project unnecessarily. Always aim for a collaborative solution that balances stakeholder satisfaction with project constraints. Question 11. The project manager is setting up a new initiative that involves integrating several legacy systems. This presents significant technical challenges and a high degree of uncertainty regarding interoperability. To mitigate this, the project manager plans to conduct several small-scale experiments and build prototypes early in the project lifecycle. Which development approach and life cycle performance domain concept is being applied here? A. Predictive life cycle. B. Hybrid life cycle. C. Iterative and incremental life cycle. D. Waterfall methodology. Answer: C. Iterative and incremental life cycle. The development approach and life cycle performance domain describes the method, cadence, and phases of the project, including predictive, adaptive, and hybrid approaches. Conducting small-scale experiments and building prototypes early to manage high uncertainty is characteristic of iterative and incremental life cycles, which fall under adaptive approaches. These approaches allow for learning, feedback, and adaptation throughout the project, making them ideal for complex projects with evolving requirements or high technical risk. When facing high uncertainty, an iterative approach often provides the best path forward. Question 12. A newly appointed project manager discovers that their project's key stakeholders are rarely attending review meetings and providing minimal feedback, despite being critical to the project's success. This lack of engagement is causing delays and potential misalignment. Which of the following is the best initial step for the project manager to take, primarily within the stakeholder performance domain? A. Remove the unengaged stakeholders from the communication plan. B. Formally escalate their lack of engagement to senior management. C. Schedule individual meetings with each key stakeholder to understand their interests, influence, and preferred engagement methods. D. Proceed with decisions without their input, assuming their silence indicates agreement. Answer: C. Schedule individual meetings with each key stakeholder to understand their interests, influence, and preferred engagement methods. The stakeholder performance domain focuses on activities related to individuals, groups, or organizations who have an interest in or impact on the project. When stakeholders are disengaged, the most effective initial step is to proactively understand their needs, concerns, and preferred ways of engagement. Individual meetings can uncover underlying reasons for disengagement and help tailor a more effective engagement strategy, which is crucial for building support and ensuring project success. Effective stakeholder engagement is proactive and tailored to individual needs. Question 13. A project manager is facilitating a retrospective meeting. The team expresses frustration over constantly shifting priorities from product management, leading to unfinished work at the end of sprints. Which of the following actions best aligns with improving performance in the planning performance domain? A. Encourage the team to work overtime to complete all prioritized items. B. Advocate for a more stable, clearly defined scope for each iteration, allowing the team to focus and achieve a realistic sprint goal. C. Request that product management no longer introduce any new items once a sprint begins. D. Implement a strict change control board for all backlog items, regardless of size. Answer: B. Advocate for a more stable, clearly defined scope for each iteration, allowing the team to focus and achieve a realistic sprint goal. The planning performance domain involves organizing, developing, and coordinating project work. In an agile context, effective planning includes ensuring that each iteration or sprint has a clear, stable, and realistic scope. By advocating for this stability, the project manager helps the team focus their efforts, complete committed work, and improve predictability, which directly enhances the effectiveness of the project's planning and execution. A well-defined and stable scope for each planning increment allows the team to deliver more reliably. Question 14. A project manager is overseeing a highly innovative research and development project. Due to the exploratory nature of the work, the team often encounters unexpected technical hurdles and scientific breakthroughs that redefine the path forward. How should the project manager best approach managing the project life cycle, in line with the development approach and life cycle performance domain? A. Implement a strict waterfall model, requiring all research to be complete before development begins. B. Adopt an adaptive, iterative, and incremental approach, allowing for continuous learning and adjustment. C. Define a comprehensive, fixed scope and schedule at the outset to minimize changes. D. Outsource all R&D work to a third party to reduce internal uncertainty. Answer: B. Adopt an adaptive, iterative, and incremental approach, allowing for continuous learning and adjustment. The development approach and life cycle performance domain considers how the project will progress through its various phases. For highly innovative and exploratory projects, an adaptive approach, such as iterative and incremental development, is most suitable because it embraces change and uncertainty. This allows the team to learn from discoveries, adapt plans as new information emerges, and incrementally build solutions, which is crucial when the final product is not fully defined at the outset. When facing high uncertainty or innovation, flexibility is paramount. Question 15. The project team has successfully delivered a critical software module ahead of schedule. The project manager wants to ensure this positive outcome is recognized and the lessons learned are captured for future projects. Which of the following activities is most aligned with the project work performance domain? A. Immediately reassigning the team members to new projects to maximize resource utilization. B. Conducting a lessons learned session to identify what contributed to the early delivery and how to replicate it. C. Informing only the project sponsor about the early delivery. D. Creating a detailed report comparing the actual schedule to the baseline and noting the variance. Answer: B. Conducting a lessons learned session to identify what contributed to the early delivery and how to replicate it. The project work performance domain involves managing physical resources, implementing project activities, and continuously improving processes. Capturing lessons learned, especially from positive outcomes like early delivery, is crucial for continuous improvement and enhancing organizational process assets. This activity helps the organization replicate successes and avoids repeating mistakes on future projects, contributing to overall project management maturity. Always take time to reflect on successes and challenges to improve future performance. Question 16. A project manager discovers that a key stakeholder has significant influence but is currently resistant to the project's objectives due to perceived negative impacts on their department. What is the most effective approach for the project manager to take, guided by the stakeholder performance domain? A. Ignore the stakeholder's resistance and proceed with the project as planned. B. Seek to understand the stakeholders' concerns and explore potential solutions or compromises to gain their support. C. Report the stakeholders' resistance to senior management for intervention. D. Exclude the resistant stakeholder from future project communications and meetings. Answer: B. Seek to understand the stakeholders' concerns and explore potential solutions or compromises to gain their support. The stakeholder performance domain emphasizes establishing a collaborative relationship with stakeholders, engaging them effectively, and managing their expectations. When faced with a resistant, influential stakeholder, the most effective approach is to proactively engage them to understand their underlying concerns. By exploring potential solutions or compromises, the project manager can often transform resistance into support, which is critical for overcoming obstacles and achieving project success. Proactive engagement and empathetic listening are powerful tools for managing stakeholder resistance. Question 17. During a routine quality audit, it's discovered that several deliverables from a specific team member consistently contain minor errors. This is impacting the overall project quality and causing delays in downstream activities. How should the project manager address this situation, primarily aligning with the team performance domain? A. Reassign the team member to a less critical task immediately. B. Confront the team member directly about their performance in a public meeting. C. Provide coaching or training to the team member, or reassign tasks based on their strengths, while offering support. D. Document the errors and send a formal warning to the team member's functional manager. Answer: C. Provide coaching or training to the team member, or reassign tasks based on their strengths, while offering support. The team performance domain focuses on developing and nurturing project team members, ensuring they have the skills and support needed to contribute effectively. When a team member consistently produces errors, the project manager's role is to support their growth, which might involve providing targeted coaching, additional training, or adjusting their responsibilities to better align with their strengths. This approach fosters a supportive environment and addresses performance issues constructively, aiming to improve individual and team capability. Focus on developing your team members rather than simply penalizing them. Question 18. A project manager is leading a critical system upgrade project with a fixed deadline and budget. The project has a clear scope and well-defined requirements. The project manager needs to establish a detailed schedule, allocate resources precisely, and manage potential deviations closely. Which life cycle approach is most suitable for this project, according to the development approach and life cycle performance domain? A. Agile. B. Iterative. C. Predictive. D. Adaptive. Answer: C. Predictive. The development approach and life cycle performance domain describes various approaches projects can take. A predictive life cycle, often called a waterfall approach, is characterized by a clear scope, fixed deadlines, and detailed planning upfront, with sequential phases. This approach is most suitable for projects where requirements are well understood, the technology is stable, and there is a low degree of uncertainty. It allows for tight control over schedule and budget, which aligns with the project manager's need for precise planning and deviation management. When requirements are clear and stable, a predictive approach offers good control. Question 19. A key deliverable for a manufacturing project has just been completed. Before it is handed over to operations, the project manager wants to ensure that it meets all quality standards and user expectations. Which activity is most aligned with the delivery performance domain? A. Updating the project schedule with the actual completion date. B. Conducting final quality assurance checks and securing formal acceptance from the end users. C. Initiating the process for closing out supplier contracts related to the deliverable. D. Planning the next set of project activities for the team. Answer: B. Conducting final quality assurance checks and securing formal acceptance from the end users. The delivery performance domain emphasizes producing deliverables that meet scope and quality requirements and achieve the desired outcomes. Ensuring that the deliverable meets all quality standards and securing formal acceptance from end users are critical activities for verifying that the product is fit for purpose and provides the intended value. This step confirms that the project has successfully delivered on its promise before transitioning the outcome to its operational phase. Always verify that deliverables meet quality standards and user expectations before final handover. Question 20. A project manager is preparing to launch a new marketing campaign. To ensure its success, they are identifying all potential internal and external parties who might be affected by or have an interest in the campaign, such as legal, marketing, sales teams, and regulatory bodies. Which PMBOK 7 performance domain is the project manager primarily operating within? A. Planning performance domain. B. Project work performance domain. C. Stakeholder performance domain. D. Measurement performance domain. Answer: C. Stakeholder performance domain. The stakeholder performance domain focuses on activities related to engaging and managing individuals, groups, or organizations who could impact or be impacted by the project. Identifying all relevant internal and external parties who have an interest in the project is the foundational step in understanding and planning for stakeholder engagement. This early identification ensures that all critical perspectives are considered, and potential supporters or resistors can be appropriately engaged throughout the project. Proactively identifying all stakeholders is the first step toward effective engagement. Question 21. A construction project is experiencing unexpected delays due to unusual weather patterns not accounted for in the initial risk assessment. The project manager needs to address this issue. Which of the following actions best aligns with the uncertainty performance domain? A. Insist on adhering to the original schedule, hoping the weather improves. B. Update the risk register, re-evaluate the impact and probability of future adverse weather, and develop contingency plans. C. Inform the client that the delays are unavoidable and the project will be late. D. Blame the meteorologist for inaccurate forecasts. Answer: B. Update the risk register, re-evaluate the impact and probability of future adverse weather, and develop contingency plans. The uncertainty performance domain focuses on recognizing, assessing, and responding to risks and opportunities throughout the project lifecycle. When unexpected events occur, it's crucial to proactively update the risk assessment to reflect new information, reassess potential impacts, and develop or adjust contingency plans to mitigate future occurrences. This proactive approach helps the project navigate unforeseen challenges more effectively. Always reassess and adapt your risk responses when new uncertainties emerge. Question 22. A project team is constantly facing issues with integrating their work, as different components are developed in isolation without considering the interfaces. The project manager wants to improve this situation. Which aspect of the planning performance domain should be emphasized? A. Establishing a detailed budget breakdown for each component. B. Developing an integrated project plan that defines how components connect and how work streams will be synchronized. C. Focusing solely on individual team member performance metrics. D. Allowing each team to decide its own integration schedule independently. Answer: B. Developing an integrated project plan that defines how components connect and how work streams will be synchronized. The planning performance domain involves organizing, developing, and coordinating project work. For integration issues, emphasizing an integrated project plan is crucial. This plan outlines how all project components, deliverables, and work streams connect and are synchronized, ensuring that different parts of the project fit together seamlessly. Effective integration planning prevents isolated development and promotes cohesive project execution. Integrated planning ensures all pieces of the project puzzle fit together correctly. Question 23. A project manager is preparing for the final phase of a complex system deployment. Before formal acceptance, they conduct thorough testing, resolve all identified defects, and ensure all user training is complete. Which PMBOK 7 performance domain are these activities primarily focused on? A. Planning performance domain. B. Project work performance domain. C. Delivery performance domain. D. Team performance domain. Answer: C. Delivery performance domain. The delivery performance domain emphasizes producing deliverables that meet quality standards and achieve the desired outcomes, ensuring the project provides the intended value. Activities such as thorough testing, defect resolution, and user training are all critical to ensuring the final product is fit for use and accepted by the customer. These actions are directly aimed at ensuring the successful delivery of a high-quality product that meets the project's objectives. Ensuring the final product is ready for use and accepted by the customer is key to successful delivery. Question 24. A project manager has just joined a new project and notices that team members are frequently duplicating efforts because they are unaware of each other's progress. The previous project manager maintained project information in disparate spreadsheets and personal documents. What immediate action should the new project manager take to improve project work performance? A. Instruct team members to work longer hours to compensate for duplicated effort. B. Implement a centralized, accessible information management system and establish clear communication protocols. C. Reassign team members to entirely new tasks to prevent further duplication. D. Document all instances of duplicated effort and report them to human resources. Answer: B. Implement a centralized, accessible information management system and establish clear communication protocols. The project work performance domain involves managing physical resources, implementing activities, and optimizing project processes. Duplicated efforts due to scattered information indicate a problem with information flow and transparency. Implementing a centralized information system and clear communication protocols ensures that all team members have access to the most current project information, enabling better coordination and reducing wasted effort. Effective information management is foundational for efficient project work and avoiding unnecessary rework. Question 25. The project manager is reviewing performance data and notices that the team is consistently underestimating the effort required for user story points, leading to uncompleted work at the end of sprints. Which of the following actions best aligns with the measurement performance domain to address this? A. Mandate that the team commit to fewer story points in the next sprint. B. Conduct a brainstorming session to guess more accurately. C. Facilitate a session to recalibrate story point estimations based on actual historical performance data. D. Tell the team to try harder to meet their commitments. Answer: C. Facilitate a session to recalibrate story point estimations based on actual historical performance data. The measurement performance domain focuses on evaluating project progress and performance to inform decision-making and continuous improvement. If estimations are consistently inaccurate, using historical data to recalibrate the estimation process is a data-driven approach to improve future predictability. This involves analyzing past performance to refine the team's understanding of their velocity and capacity. Always use historical data and empirical evidence to refine future estimations and improve predictability. Question 26. A key external supplier for a project has recently undergone a major internal reorganization, creating uncertainty about their ability to deliver on time. This supplier is critical to the project's success. Which action is most appropriate for the project manager to take, primarily focusing on the uncertainty performance domain? A. Assume the supplier will catch up and wait for their next scheduled delivery. B. Immediately switch to a backup supplier, even if it's more expensive. C. Proactively engage with the supplier to understand the impact of their reorganization and assess potential risks to project timelines. D. Document the issue in the lessons learned register for future projects. Answer: C. Proactively engage with the supplier to understand the impact of their reorganization and assess potential risks to project timelines. The uncertainty performance domain involves recognizing, assessing, and responding to risks and opportunities. A critical supplier's internal reorganization introduces new uncertainty. The most appropriate action is to proactively engage with them to gather more information, assess the potential impact on the project, and then develop a tailored response plan. This proactive communication helps manage the risk by getting ahead of potential issues rather than waiting for them to materialize. Engage early with potential sources of uncertainty to understand and mitigate their impact. Question 27. A project manager is working on a digital transformation project. The organizational culture is traditionally very hierarchical and resistant to change. The project manager needs to ensure that the new system is adopted smoothly across all departments. Which of the following is most critical for success, within the stakeholder performance domain? A. Relying solely on executive mandates to enforce adoption. B. Developing a comprehensive communication plan and actively involving key departmental representatives in design and testing. C. Avoiding communication about the project until the system is fully operational. D. Offering financial incentives to employees for using the new system. Answer: B. Developing a comprehensive communication plan and actively involving key departmental representatives in design and testing. The stakeholder performance domain emphasizes building effective relationships and proactively engaging stakeholders to ensure project success. In an environment resistant to change, active involvement and transparent communication are crucial for overcoming resistance and fostering buy-in. By involving departmental representatives in the project's design and testing, they become advocates and help shape a solution that meets their needs, significantly increasing adoption rates. Effective change management often begins with early and active stakeholder involvement. Question 28. A project team is developing a new online service. During user acceptance testing, a significant usability flaw is discovered that impacts a core function. While the flaw can be fixed, it will require a substantial amount of rework and may delay the launch. How should the project manager address this, focusing on the delivery performance domain? A. Launch the service with the known flaw and plan to fix it in a later update. B. Immediately halt the project and reassess the entire system's design. C. Facilitate a discussion with stakeholders and the team to evaluate the impact of the flaw, the cost of fixing it, and the implications of a delayed launch to make a value-driven decision. D. Instruct the team to fix the flaw without informing stakeholders about the delay. Answer: C. Facilitate a discussion with stakeholders and the team to evaluate the impact of the flaw, the cost of fixing it, and the implications of a delayed launch to make a value-driven decision. The delivery performance domain is about ensuring the project produces outcomes that achieve the business objectives and deliver value. When a significant flaw is discovered, the project manager must facilitate a collaborative discussion with stakeholders and the team to weigh the trade-offs between quality, schedule, and value. This ensures that the decision to fix the flaw or launch with it is a strategic, value-driven choice that aligns with overall business goals. Always involve stakeholders in critical decisions that impact value delivery and project constraints. Question 29. A project manager is leading a research project where the end goal is somewhat ambiguous, and the technical challenges are expected to be numerous and unpredictable. The team needs to learn and adapt as they proceed. Which development approach and life cycle is most appropriate? A. Predictive, waterfall. B. Hybrid. C. Iterative and adaptive. D. Incremental. Answer: C. Iterative and adaptive. The development approach and life cycle performance domain guides how a project progresses. When the end goal is ambiguous and technical challenges are unpredictable, an iterative and adaptive approach is most suitable. This allows the team to work in short cycles, learn from each iteration, incorporate feedback, and adjust their direction as new information emerges. This flexibility is critical for projects with high levels of uncertainty and evolving requirements. For highly uncertain projects, embrace an iterative and adaptive approach to maximize learning and flexibility. Question 30. A project manager is reviewing the latest project status report and notices that despite being on schedule, the actual costs are significantly higher than planned for several work packages. Which PMBOK 7 performance domain is primarily concerned with analyzing this variance and proposing corrective actions? A. Team performance domain. B. Planning performance domain. C. Measurement performance domain. D. Stakeholder performance domain. Answer: C. Measurement performance domain. The measurement performance domain focuses on evaluating project progress and performance to inform decision-making. Identifying and analyzing cost variances against the plan is a key aspect of performance measurement. This domain prompts the project manager to investigate the root causes of deviations and propose corrective actions, ensuring the project stays on track concerning its cost baseline. Regularly measuring performance against baselines helps identify issues early and enables timely corrective action. Question 31. A complex IT project has multiple cross-functional teams, each responsible for different modules. The project manager observes that communication between these teams is infrequent, leading to integration issues and rework. What action should the project manager prioritize to improve project execution, primarily within the project work performance domain? A. Centralize all decision-making with the project manager to reduce communication needs. B. Implement regular cross-team synchronization meetings and shared collaboration tools. C. Assign a dedicated quality assurance team to catch integration errors later in the cycle. D. Restructure the teams to eliminate cross-functional dependencies. Answer: B. Implement regular cross-team synchronization meetings and shared collaboration tools. The project work performance domain focuses on executing activities and managing resources to achieve project objectives efficiently. In a multi-team environment, poor communication leading to integration issues directly impacts project work efficiency. Implementing regular synchronization meetings and shared collaboration tools fosters better coordination and information flow between teams, reducing rework and improving the overall quality of integrated components. Facilitating seamless communication and collaboration across teams is fundamental to effective project execution. Question 32. A project manager is initiating a new initiative to upgrade the company's internal network infrastructure. They are in the process of defining the scope, estimating resources, and establishing a preliminary timeline. Which PMBOK 7 performance domain is most prominent in these activities? A. Development approach and life cycle performance domain. B. Planning performance domain. C. Project work performance domain. D. Uncertainty performance domain. Answer: B. Planning performance domain. The planning performance domain involves organizing, developing, and coordinating the project work throughout the project. Defining scope, estimating resources, and establishing a preliminary timeline are all core planning activities that lay the groundwork for how the project will be executed. This domain focuses on the upfront preparation necessary to guide the project toward its objectives effectively. Comprehensive planning is the foundation for successful project execution. Question 33. The project team has identified several new, highly innovative technologies that could significantly enhance the project's product. However, these technologies are untested and carry substantial technical risks. The project sponsor is enthusiastic but cautious. How should the project manager best handle this situation, aligning with the uncertainty performance domain? A. Ignore the new technologies to maintain the current plan and avoid risk. B. Immediately incorporate all new technologies into the project scope without further analysis. C. Conduct a detailed risk-benefit analysis, possibly pilot testing the most promising technologies in a controlled environment, and present findings to the sponsor. D. Defer the decision to the functional managers of the team members. Answer: C. Conduct a detailed risk-benefit analysis, possibly pilot testing the most promising technologies in a controlled environment, and present findings to the sponsor. The uncertainty performance domain focuses on recognizing, assessing, and responding to risks and opportunities. When presented with potentially high-reward but high-risk opportunities, the project manager should facilitate a thorough analysis of both the potential benefits and the associated risks. Pilot testing or prototyping in a controlled environment is an excellent way to gain more information and reduce uncertainty before full adoption, allowing for an informed, data-driven decision with the sponsor. Proactive analysis and controlled experimentation help manage the risks of innovative opportunities. Question 34. A project manager is dealing with a highly vocal stakeholder who consistently pushes for additional features beyond the agreed-upon scope. This is causing friction within the team and impacting the schedule. How should the project manager best address this, considering the stakeholder performance domain? A. Inform the stakeholder that no more changes will be accepted under any circumstances. B. Escalate the issue to the project sponsor for disciplinary action against the stakeholder. C. Engage the stakeholder to understand their underlying needs and discuss how their suggestions align with or deviate from the project's value proposition, potentially using a change request process. D. Implement the changes to appease the stakeholder and avoid conflict. Answer: C. Engage the stakeholder to understand their underlying needs and discuss how their suggestions align with or deviate from the project's value proposition, potentially using a change request process. The stakeholder performance domain emphasizes effective engagement and management of stakeholder expectations. When a stakeholder repeatedly requests changes, it's crucial to understand their motivations and discuss the impact on the project's value, scope, and constraints. Using a formal change request process, if applicable, provides a structured way to evaluate and decide on such requests, maintaining control while keeping the stakeholder engaged. Effective stakeholder engagement often involves understanding underlying needs and managing expectations transparently. Question 35. A new project manager is trying to understand the current status of their recently inherited project. They review performance reports, look at earned value data, and conduct interviews with team members to gauge progress and identify any issues. Which PMBOK 7 performance domain is this project manager primarily engaging in? A. Planning performance domain. B. Delivery performance domain. C. Measurement performance domain. D. Team performance domain. Answer: C. Measurement performance domain. The measurement performance domain focuses on evaluating project progress and performance, using various metrics and information sources to inform decision-making. Reviewing performance reports, earned value data, and interviewing team members to understand project status and issues are all core activities within this domain. The goal is to gain an objective understanding of where the project stands compared to its plan and objectives. Regularly measuring project performance is crucial for informed decision-making and course correction. Question 36. During a daily stand-up, a team member mentions a potential risk related to a third-party dependency. The project manager notes it down but doesn't immediately pursue it, as they believe the probability is low. This approach could be problematic for which PMBOK 7 performance domain? A. Team performance domain. B. Uncertainty performance domain. C. Project work performance domain. D. Delivery performance domain. Answer: B. Uncertainty performance domain. The uncertainty performance domain focuses on recognizing, assessing, and responding to risks and opportunities. Dismissing a potential risk, even if perceived as low probability, without proper assessment, e.g., impact analysis, mitigation planning, goes against the principles of proactive risk management. All identified uncertainties should be formally assessed to determine their true potential impact and to ensure appropriate responses are considered. Ignoring potential risks, regardless of perceived probability, can lead to unforeseen issues down the line. Question 37. A project manager has just completed a major project. To ensure future projects benefit from this experience, they facilitate a comprehensive lessons learned workshop, archive all project documentation, and update organizational process assets. Which PMBOK 7 performance domain encompasses these activities? A. Planning performance domain. B. Project work performance domain. C. Delivery performance domain. D. Measurement performance domain. Answer: B. Project work performance domain. The project work performance domain encompasses activities related to carrying out the project work, including managing knowledge and improving organizational processes. Facilitating lessons learned, archiving documentation, and updating organizational process assets are all crucial activities that enable continuous improvement and ensure that project experiences contribute to organizational learning. These actions are part of the broader effort to effectively perform and close out project work, contributing to the organization's long-term capabilities. Continuously improving through lessons learned is vital for organizational maturity. Question 38. The project manager is starting a new project that involves a unique combination of established and emerging technologies. The scope is somewhat defined but might evolve as the team learns more about the emerging tech. Which development approach and life cycle performance domain approach would be most suitable? A. Predictive, waterfall. B. Hybrid. C. Adaptive, agile. D. Incremental only. Answer: B. Hybrid. The development approach and life cycle performance domain describes various approaches projects can take. When a project combines elements of both stable, well-understood work, where a predictive approach might fit, and high uncertainty or evolving work, where an adaptive approach is better, a hybrid approach is often the most suitable. This allows the project manager to leverage the benefits of both methodologies by applying them to different parts or phases of the project. A hybrid approach offers flexibility, balancing control with adaptability. Question 39. A project manager discovers that several team members are experiencing burnout due to excessive workload and lack of recognition. This is starting to impact productivity and quality. What is the most appropriate action for the project manager to take, guided by the team performance domain? A. Increase the project's scope to challenge the team further. B. Implement stricter deadlines to motivate the team. C. Facilitate discussions on workload distribution, promote work-life balance, and ensure team achievements are recognized. D. Replace the burned-out team members with new ones. Answer: C. Facilitate discussions on workload distribution, promote work-life balance, and ensure team achievements are recognized. The team performance domain focuses on organizing, guiding, and motivating project team members, ensuring their well-being and productivity. Addressing burnout requires proactive measures like adjusting workload, promoting a healthy work-life balance, and providing recognition for their efforts. These actions demonstrate support for the team's well-being, which is essential for maintaining morale, preventing turnover, and sustaining high performance. A healthy and appreciated team is a productive team. Question 40. A project manager for a major software upgrade project is preparing a comprehensive project plan that includes a detailed scope statement, work breakdown structure, schedule baseline, and cost baseline. This plan will serve as the guiding document for all project execution and monitoring. Which PMBOK 7 performance domain is primarily addressed by this extensive planning effort? A. Project work performance domain. B. Delivery performance domain. C. Planning performance domain. D. Measurement performance domain. Answer: C. Planning performance domain. The planning performance domain focuses on the organization, development, and coordination of the project work throughout the project. Creating detailed baselines for scope, schedule, and cost, along with a comprehensive work breakdown structure, are all fundamental activities within this domain. This meticulous planning provides the roadmap for how the project will achieve its objectives and allows for effective monitoring and control later on. Thorough planning is the cornerstone of effective project management. Question 41. A project team is highly self-organizing and cross-functional, and consistently delivers working software increments. The project manager acts primarily as a facilitator, removing impediments and coaching the team on agile practices. Which PMBOK 7 performance domain is best exemplified by the project manager's role in this scenario? A. Planning performance domain. B. Project work performance domain. C. Team performance domain. D. Measurement performance domain. Answer: C. Team performance domain. The team performance domain emphasizes fostering a collaborative and high-performing project team environment. In an Agile context, the project manager, or Scrum Master, often takes on a servant leadership role, focusing on enabling the team, removing impediments, and coaching them to self-organize and manage their own work. This approach directly supports the team's ability to operate effectively and efficiently, which is central to building and nurturing a capable team. A key aspect of leading high-performing teams is enabling them, not just directing them. Question 42. A company is undergoing a major organizational restructure, which introduces significant ambiguity regarding resource availability and departmental priorities for an ongoing project. The project manager needs to assess the impact of this change. Which PMBOK 7 performance domain is most directly affected by this situation? A. Planning performance domain. B. Delivery performance domain. C. Uncertainty performance domain. D. Measurement performance domain. Answer: C. Uncertainty performance domain. The uncertainty performance domain deals with addressing the inherent unpredictability in projects, including risks and opportunities. A major organizational restructure introduces significant uncertainty regarding resources and priorities, which are external factors that can impact the project. The project manager needs to assess this new situation to understand its potential impact, both positive and negative, and plan appropriate responses. Organizational changes often introduce new risks and opportunities that require careful management. Question 43. The project manager is presenting the completed product to key stakeholders. During the presentation, a stakeholder points out a feature that, while functional, is not intuitive to use and might lead to low adoption rates. The project manager had not explicitly documented ease of use as a primary requirement. How should the project manager address this, considering the delivery performance domain? A. State that the feature meets the documented requirements and refuse any changes. B. Acknowledge the feedback and assess the impact on adoption and the effort to improve usability, then discuss a resolution with the stakeholder. C. Blame the development team for poor design. D. Agree to fix it immediately, regardless of impact on other project aspects. Answer: B. Acknowledge the feedback, and assess the impact on adoption and the effort to improve usability, then discuss a resolution with the stakeholder. The delivery performance domain focuses on ensuring the project outcome achieves the intended business value and meets stakeholder expectations, which includes usability and adoption. While ease of use might not have been a documented requirement, its impact on adoption directly affects the value delivered. The project manager should acknowledge the feedback, evaluate the trade-offs, cost of rework versus benefit of improved adoption, and collaboratively decide on the best path forward to ensure the project ultimately delivers value. Value delivery often extends beyond documented requirements to actual user experience. Question 44. A project manager is conducting a comprehensive review of the project budget. They compare planned expenditures against actual expenditures, analyze variances, and forecast future costs. These activities are central to which PMBOK 7 performance domain? A. Project work performance domain. B. Planning performance domain. C. Measurement performance domain. D. Team performance domain. Answer: C. Measurement performance domain. The measurement performance domain focuses on evaluating the efficiency and effectiveness of the project, including its financial performance. Comparing actual expenditures to planned budgets, analyzing variances, and forecasting future costs are all core activities within this domain, aimed at understanding the project's financial health and informing necessary adjustments. Robust financial measurement is critical for maintaining budgetary control and ensuring the project remains viable. Question 45. A construction project team consistently misses minor deadlines due to unexpected material delivery delays. The project manager wants to implement a proactive solution. Which of the following is an effective approach, rooted in the planning performance domain? A. Implement stricter penalties for suppliers who deliver late. B. Add buffer time to all remaining tasks, regardless of their nature. C. Incorporate more robust supply chain management planning, including contingency plans for material sourcing and delivery. D. Reduce the scope of the project to compensate for delays. Answer: C. Incorporate more robust supply chain management planning, including contingency plans for material sourcing and delivery. The planning performance domain involves organizing, developing, and coordinating the project work. Recurring material delivery delays point to a weakness in the initial or ongoing planning for procurement and logistics. Incorporating more robust supply chain planning, including identifying alternative suppliers or creating buffer stock, is a proactive measure that addresses the root cause within the planning phase, ensuring smoother project execution. Effective planning anticipates potential issues and builds in resilience to mitigate them. Question 46. A project manager is leading a new product launch. To ensure a successful launch, they are constantly interacting with the marketing team, sales department, and public relations firm, ensuring alignment on messaging, timing, and strategy. Which PMBOK 7 performance domain is most prominent here? A. Delivery performance domain. B. Planning performance domain. C. Project work performance domain. D. Stakeholder performance domain. Answer: D. Stakeholder performance domain. The stakeholder performance domain focuses on activities related to individuals, groups, or organizations who have an interest in or impact on the project. Actively interacting and ensuring alignment with key internal and external teams like marketing, sales, and PR is crucial for managing their expectations, gaining their support, and leveraging their expertise for a successful product launch. This direct engagement is at the heart of effective stakeholder management. Proactive and consistent communication with all key stakeholders is vital for aligning efforts and achieving project success. Question 47. A project team is developing a complex AI system. Early in the project, the team struggled with identifying and integrating various data sources, leading to initial delays. The project manager implemented daily synchronization meetings and created a shared data repository. This effort primarily aligns with which PMBOK 7 performance domain? A. Team performance domain. B. Planning performance domain. C. Project work performance domain. D. Measurement performance domain. Answer: C. Project work performance domain. The project work performance domain is concerned with carrying out the project activities and managing resources to achieve project objectives. Addressing data integration challenges, implementing synchronization meetings, and establishing a shared repository are direct actions to improve the efficiency and effectiveness of the actual work being performed by the team. These initiatives are focused on optimizing the execution of technical and collaborative tasks to keep the project moving forward effectively. Streamlining how the team performs its core work is central to the project work performance domain. Question 48. A project manager is leading a project where the final solution will evolve as user feedback is received and incorporated. The project team needs to be flexible and capable of rapidly adjusting to new requirements. Which development approach and life cycle performance domain concept is most suitable? A. Predictive. B. Iterative. C. Hybrid. D. Waterfall. Answer: B. Iterative. The development approach and life cycle performance domain includes different approaches to project progression. An iterative approach is best suited when the final solution needs to evolve based on feedback and new requirements. This method allows for repeated cycles of planning, executing, and evaluating, enabling the team to learn and adapt throughout the project lifecycle. Iterative development embraces change and is ideal for projects where requirements are not fully defined upfront. When requirements are expected to evolve, an iterative approach allows for continuous adaptation and refinement. Question 49. A project manager is conducting a root cause analysis for a series of defects discovered in a recently delivered module. The team identifies that a lack of standardized coding practices led to the issues. Which PMBOK 7 performance domain should the project manager focus on to prevent similar issues in the future? A. Stakeholder performance domain. B. Team performance domain. C. Project work performance domain. D. Uncertainty performance domain. Answer: C. Project work performance domain. The project work performance domain encompasses the processes and activities involved in performing the actual work of the project, including ensuring quality and continuous improvement. Addressing a lack of standardized coding practices directly relates to improving the way the project work is executed to prevent defects. Implementing clearer guidelines and processes for technical work is a direct action within this domain to enhance product quality and efficiency. Improving the way work is done is a core aspect of the project work performance domain. Question 50. A key deliverable in a software project has been rejected by the quality assurance team due to numerous bugs. The project manager is now determining the severity of these bugs, the effort required for rework, and the impact on the overall project schedule. Which PMBOK 7 performance domain is primarily at play in this situation? A. Planning performance domain. B. Delivery performance domain. C. Measurement performance domain. D. Team performance domain. Answer: B. Delivery performance domain. The delivery performance domain focuses on ensuring the project produces the deliverables that meet the specified quality and scope requirements, ultimately achieving the desired business value. When a deliverable is rejected due to quality issues, addressing the bugs, understanding the rework needed, and its impact on the schedule are all critical steps to ensure the deliverable can ultimately be accepted and contribute to the project's successful delivery and value realization. Ensuring a quality outcome that meets requirements is central to successful delivery. Question 51. The project team has identified several opportunities to innovate and create additional value beyond the initial scope. However, pursuing these opportunities would introduce new risks and require additional budget. Which PMBOK 7 performance domain should guide the project manager's decision-making process here? A. Delivery performance domain. B. Planning performance domain. C. Uncertainty performance domain. D. Measurement performance domain. Answer: C. Uncertainty performance domain. The uncertainty performance domain focuses on managing risks and opportunities. While the opportunities could add value, delivery domain, their pursuit introduces new risks and resource implications. The project manager must assess these opportunities in terms of their potential benefits versus the associated risks and uncertainties, and then make an informed decision about whether to pursue them. This involves understanding the probability and impact of both positive and negative uncertainties. Proactively managing opportunities, just like risks, is crucial for optimizing project outcomes. Question 52. A project manager is facilitating a workshop to define the project scope, objectives, and deliverables. They are working with various stakeholders to ensure everyone understands what the project will and will not produce. Which PMBOK 7 performance domain is the project manager primarily operating within? A. Stakeholder performance domain. B. Project work performance domain. C. Planning performance domain. D. Delivery performance domain. Answer: C. Planning performance domain. The planning performance domain involves organizing, developing, and coordinating project work. Defining the project's scope, objectives, and deliverables is a fundamental and critical activity in the planning process. This ensures that a clear understanding of the project's boundaries and intended outcomes is established among all stakeholders, providing a solid foundation for all subsequent project activities. Clear and comprehensive planning is essential for setting the project up for success. Question 53. The project manager notices that two experienced team members are constantly clashing over technical approaches, leading to stalled progress and a tense atmosphere. Both are highly skilled but have different working styles. Which of the following is the best approach for the project manager to take, guided by the team performance domain? A. Allow them to resolve it themselves, as they are experienced professionals. B. Assign them to separate teams to avoid further conflict. C. Mediate the conflict, facilitate communication, and help them find a mutually agreeable solution or compromise. D. Report the conflict to their functional managers for resolution. Answer: C. Mediate the conflict, facilitate communication, and help them find a mutually agreeable solution or compromise. The team performance domain emphasizes fostering a collaborative and high-performing project team, which includes managing conflict constructively. When experienced team members clash, the project manager's role is to intervene as a mediator, facilitating open communication to understand the underlying issues and guiding them toward a resolution that benefits the project. This supportive approach helps maintain team cohesion and productivity. Effective conflict resolution helps maintain a productive and positive team environment. Question 54. A project manager is leading a new product development project. They decide to release a minimum viable product, MVP, to a small group of early adopters to gather feedback before investing in full-scale development. Which development approach and life cycle performance domain principle is being applied? A. Predictive approach. B. Phased approach. C. Iterative and incremental approach. D. Waterfall approach. Answer: C. Iterative and incremental approach. The development approach and life cycle performance domain encompasses how a project progresses. Releasing an MVP to gather early feedback is a hallmark of an iterative and incremental approach, often associated with Agile methodologies. This allows the team to deliver value in small increments, learn from real-world usage, and adapt the product based on validated learning, rather than building the entire product up front without external validation. Delivering an MVP allows for early learning and adaptation, crucial for success in uncertain environments. Question 55. A project manager has just been informed that a critical component, previously thought to be stable, now has a newly identified security vulnerability. This was unexpected and could lead to significant re-architecture if not addressed. Which PMBOK 7 performance domain is primarily impacted by this new information? A. Delivery performance domain. B. Planning performance domain. C. Uncertainty performance domain. D. Measurement performance domain. Answer: C. Uncertainty performance domain. The uncertainty performance domain specifically addresses risks, opportunities, and other forms of uncertainty. A newly identified security vulnerability in a critical component is an unforeseen threat that introduces significant uncertainty to the project. The project manager must now assess this new risk, its potential impact, and develop appropriate response strategies to mitigate it. Unexpected issues fall squarely within the realm of managing project uncertainty. Question 56. A project team is developing a complex solution that involves integrating several third-party vendor systems. The project manager observes that the team is spending a disproportionate amount of time on administrative tasks and coordinating between vendors rather than direct development. How can the project manager improve efficiency within the project work performance domain? A. Ask the team to work overtime to compensate for administrative overhead. B. Delegate all vendor coordination directly to the most senior developer. C. Streamline administrative processes, centralize vendor communications, and remove non-development impediments from the team. D. Implement a new, more detailed time tracking system for all activities. Answer: C. Streamline administrative processes, centralize vendor communications, and remove non-development impediments from the team. The project work performance domain focuses on optimizing the actual work performed by the team. When a team is bogged down by administrative tasks and coordination, the project manager's role is to streamline these processes and remove impediments so the team can focus on value-adding development work. This directly improves the efficiency and effectiveness of the project's core work. Removing obstacles and streamlining processes helps your team focus on delivering value. Question 57. The project manager is conducting a quarterly performance review of the project. They are comparing the actual progress against the baselines, analyzing key performance indicators, KPIs, and identifying areas where the project is deviating from the plan. Which PMBOK 7 performance domain is the project manager primarily working within? A. Planning performance domain. B. Project work performance domain. C. Measurement performance domain. D. Delivery performance domain. Answer: C. Measurement performance domain. The measurement performance domain is dedicated to evaluating project progress and performance to inform decision-making. Comparing actuals to baselines, analyzing KPIs, and identifying deviations are all core activities that provide insights into the project's health and enable informed corrective actions. This domain is crucial for ensuring the project stays on track and achieves its objectives effectively. Regular measurement is essential for keeping the project aligned with its goals and making timely adjustments. Question 58. A project manager is leading a global project with a geographically dispersed team. They realize that some team members in different regions are feeling isolated and disengaged. Which of the following is the best approach to foster team cohesion and engagement, in line with the team performance domain? A. Implement stricter reporting requirements to ensure accountability. B. Focus only on task assignments and deadlines. C. Organize virtual team-building activities, encourage informal communication channels, and ensure equitable participation in meetings. D. Reduce communication to avoid overwhelming team members. Answer: C. Organize virtual team-building activities, encourage informal communication channels, and ensure equitable participation in meetings. The team performance domain emphasizes building and maintaining a collaborative, high-performing team. For geographically dispersed teams, it's vital to proactively address isolation and disengagement by fostering connections and ensuring everyone feels included. Virtual team building and encouraging informal communication help bridge geographical gaps, while equitable participation ensures all voices are heard, improving team cohesion and morale. Invest in fostering connections, especially in distributed teams, to build a strong sense of unity. Question 59. The project manager is preparing a detailed resource management plan, including roles, responsibilities, and team acquisition strategies for the upcoming phases of a large-scale project. This comprehensive approach is part of which PMBOK 7 performance domain? A. Project work performance domain. B. Planning performance domain. C. Team performance domain. D. Measurement performance domain. Answer: B. Planning performance domain. The planning performance domain involves organizing, developing, and coordinating project work. Developing a detailed resource management plan, including defining roles, responsibilities, and team acquisition strategies, is a critical upfront planning activity. This ensures that the project has the necessary human resources to execute the work efficiently and effectively. Thorough resource planning is essential for having the right people in the right roles at the right time. Question 60. A project manager is working on a new software product that aims to disrupt an existing market. The requirements are high-level and expected to evolve significantly as market feedback is gathered. The project team is highly skilled and autonomous. Which development approach and life cycle is most appropriate? A. Predictive, waterfall. B. Adaptive, agile. C. Hybrid. D. Linear. Answer: B. Adaptive, agile. The development approach and life cycle performance domain describes various approaches to managing project progression. When requirements are high-level, expected to evolve, and the goal is market disruption, an adaptive approach like Agile is most suitable. This allows the team to respond quickly to change, deliver value incrementally, and continuously incorporate feedback, which is crucial for success in highly dynamic and uncertain market environments. For disruptive innovation and evolving requirements, an adaptive approach provides the necessary flexibility. Question 61. A project has just released a new feature, and initial user feedback indicates that while functional, the feature lacks key integration points that would make it truly valuable to users. These integration points were discussed but deprioritized early in the project. What should the project manager do, focusing on the delivery performance domain? A. Inform users that the feature is complete as per initial scope and no further changes will be made. B. Immediately initiate a new project to add the integration points. C. Facilitate a discussion with the product owner and key stakeholders to re-evaluate the value of adding these integration points versus the effort and impact on future plans. D. Blame the early prioritization decisions for the current situation. Answer: C. Facilitate a discussion with the product owner and key stakeholders to re-evaluate the value of adding these integration points versus the effort and impact on future plans. The delivery performance domain emphasizes delivering outcomes that achieve the intended business value. While the feature is functional, the feedback indicates a gap in true value delivery. The project manager should facilitate a collaborative discussion to reassess the value of the missing integration points against the effort required to implement them, allowing for a data-driven, value-focused decision about future iterations or projects. Continuously evaluating and optimizing for value delivery is paramount, even after initial release. Question 62. A project manager notices that key performance indicators, KPIs, for project efficiency, such as cycle time and throughput, are consistently below targets. The team often struggles to complete work within estimated times. Which PMBOK 7 performance domain should the project manager focus on to address this? A. Stakeholder performance domain. B. Planning performance domain. C. Measurement performance domain. D. Uncertainty performance domain. Answer: C. Measurement performance domain. The measurement performance domain focuses on evaluating project progress and performance using defined metrics. When efficiency KPIs are consistently below target, it indicates a need to investigate the underlying causes of the deviations and take corrective actions based on the measurements. This domain guides the project manager to analyze the performance data to understand why targets are not being met and how to improve future efficiency. Effective measurement reveals performance gaps and guides improvement efforts. Question 63. A critical system component being developed by a third-party vendor is experiencing significant delays due to unexpected technical issues. The project manager needs to assess the impact and plan a response. Which PMBOK 7 performance domain is most directly relevant to this situation? A. Delivery performance domain. B. Planning performance domain. C. Uncertainty performance domain. D. Project work performance domain. Answer: C. Uncertainty performance domain. The uncertainty performance domain specifically deals with addressing risks and opportunities, which are inherent uncertainties in a project. A critical vendor component facing unexpected technical issues is a significant threat that introduces uncertainty to the project. The project manager must assess this risk, its potential impact on the project, and then develop or adjust risk response plans to mitigate the delay. Managing unexpected issues and their potential impact is core to handling uncertainty. Question 64. A project manager is leading a construction project. They notice that the quality of work from a specific subcontractor is consistently poor, leading to rework and delays. How should the project manager address this, considering the project work performance domain? A. Immediately terminate the subcontractor's contract without discussion. B. Document the issues and deduct the cost of rework from the subcontractor's payment. C. Engage with the subcontractor to understand the root causes of the quality issues and collaborate on corrective actions or process improvements. D. Assign internal team members to oversee every aspect of the subcontractor's work. Answer: C. Engage with the subcontractor to understand the root causes of the quality issues and collaborate on corrective actions or process improvements. The project work performance domain focuses on executing the project activities and ensuring their quality. When a subcontractor delivers poor quality work, the most effective approach is to engage them collaboratively to identify the root causes of the issues. Working together to implement corrective actions or process improvements helps resolve the problem at its source, improving the quality of the project work and maintaining a constructive working relationship. Collaborate with external partners to resolve quality issues and improve overall project work. Question 65. A project is halfway through its planned duration. The project manager observes that the requirements, though initially stable, are now starting to shift frequently due to market changes. The team is struggling to keep up with these changes using a traditional sequential approach. Which development approach and life cycle performance domain action is most appropriate? A. Insist on adhering to the original requirements baseline, rejecting all new changes. B. Transition the project, or relevant parts, to a more adaptive or hybrid approach to better accommodate evolving requirements. C. Pause the project until market conditions stabilize. D. Add more resources to the team to handle the increased change requests within the current sequential process. Answer: B. Transition the project, or relevant parts, to a more adaptive or hybrid approach to better accommodate evolving requirements. The development approach and life cycle performance domain addresses the method, cadence, and phases of the project. If requirements are becoming increasingly unstable mid-project, continuing with a rigid sequential approach will be inefficient and frustrating. Transitioning to an adaptive or hybrid approach, which embraces change and iterative delivery, allows the project to better respond to evolving market conditions and incorporate new requirements efficiently. Projects should adapt their life cycle when initial assumptions about stability prove false. Question 66. The project team is consistently missing deadlines due to unforeseen technical complexities. The project manager realizes that the initial risk assessment did not fully account for these types of technical challenges. Which PMBOK 7 performance domain should the project manager reevaluate and improve? A. Team performance domain. B. Planning performance domain. C. Uncertainty performance domain. D. Delivery performance domain. Answer: C. Uncertainty performance domain. The uncertainty performance domain explicitly deals with managing risks and opportunities. If the team is encountering unforeseen technical complexities that impact deadlines, it indicates a gap in the project's ability to identify and respond to threats. The project manager needs to enhance the processes for identifying, analyzing, and planning responses for technical risks, possibly by involving technical experts more deeply in risk identification. Continuously improving how you identify and respond to uncertainties is critical for project resilience. Question 67. A project manager is facilitating a retrospective at the end of a sprint. The team identifies that they frequently struggle to integrate their code, leading to late-night debugging sessions. This issue impacts future sprints. What action should the project manager encourage, specifically addressing the project work performance domain? A. Suggest they work longer hours next sprint to get integration done. B. Implement stricter individual code review processes. C. Promote continuous integration practices and automated testing within the development workflow. D. Advise them to integrate only at the end of the project to save time. Answer: C. Promote continuous integration practices and automated testing within the development workflow. The project work performance domain is about optimizing how the actual project work is performed. Consistent integration issues indicate a need to improve the technical workflow. Promoting continuous integration and automated testing allows code to be integrated and tested frequently, catching issues early and preventing large, complex integration problems at the end of sprints or the project. Improving the technical practices and workflow directly enhances the efficiency and quality of project work. Question 68. A key stakeholder, initially enthusiastic about the project, has become increasingly disengaged due to a lack of clear progress reports and feeling unheard in project meetings. What is the project manager's best course of action, guided by the stakeholder performance domain? A. Inform the stakeholder that their engagement level is their responsibility. B. Send more frequent, generic project updates to all stakeholders. C. Tailor communication and engagement methods to the stakeholders' preferences, and actively solicit and acknowledge their input in discussions. D. Reduce communication to avoid bothering the disengaged stakeholder. Answer: C. Tailor communication and engagement methods to the stakeholders' preferences, and actively solicit and acknowledge their input in discussions. The stakeholder performance domain emphasizes establishing productive relationships and ensuring active stakeholder engagement. When a key stakeholder becomes disengaged, it's crucial to understand why. Tailoring communication, e.g., specific reports, preferred formats, and actively seeking and acknowledging their input demonstrates that their perspective is valued, often re-engaging them. Effective stakeholder engagement is rarely one-size-fits-all and requires proactive adaptation. Question 69. A project manager is conducting a lessons learned session after a project phase. The team identifies that their initial estimations for task durations were consistently optimistic, leading to schedule delays. How should the project manager address this within the planning performance domain for future phases? A. Instruct the team to simply work faster. B. Mandate arbitrary increases to all future task durations. C. Re-evaluate and refine the estimation process, possibly by incorporating historical data or using more collaborative estimation techniques. D. Outsource all future estimation to external consultants. Answer: C. Re-evaluate and refine the estimation process, possibly by incorporating historical data or using more collaborative estimation techniques. The planning performance domain involves organizing, developing, and coordinating project work, which includes robust estimation processes. If estimations are consistently inaccurate, it indicates a need to refine the planning inputs and techniques. Re-evaluating the process, using historical data, or implementing collaborative methods like planning poker, helps create more realistic and accurate future estimates. Continuous improvement in your planning processes leads to more realistic and achievable project plans. Question 70. The project manager is managing a project with strict regulatory compliance requirements. Failure to meet these could result in significant fines and legal issues. Which of the following activities is most crucial to emphasize, primarily within the delivery performance domain? A. Focusing solely on delivering features quickly to meet market demand. B. Ensuring all deliverables undergo rigorous compliance reviews and obtain necessary certifications before release. C. Delegating all compliance checks to the legal department without internal oversight. D. Informing stakeholders that compliance is an external responsibility. Answer: B. Ensuring all deliverables undergo rigorous compliance reviews and obtain necessary certifications before release. The delivery performance domain emphasizes producing deliverables that meet all specified quality and scope requirements and achieve the desired business value. In projects with strict regulatory compliance, ensuring all deliverables pass rigorous compliance reviews and obtain necessary certifications is paramount. This directly contributes to the quality and ultimate acceptance of the project outcomes, preventing severe negative consequences and delivering true business value. For compliance-heavy projects, quality and regulatory adherence are critical components of successful delivery. Question 71. A project manager is starting a highly innovative research project with no clear precedent. The final product is undefined and will emerge through experimentation. The team is small, highly skilled, and self-motivated. Which development approach and life cycle performance domain approach is most fitting? A. Predictive, waterfall. B. Adaptive, agile. C. Incremental. D. Phased. Answer: B. Adaptive, agile. The development approach and life cycle performance domain describes various approaches to project progression. For highly innovative research projects with undefined outcomes and an emphasis on experimentation, an adaptive, agile approach is most suitable. This allows the team to work in short cycles, learn rapidly from failures and successes, and pivot as new information emerges, embracing the inherent uncertainty of such projects. When the path and destination are unclear, an adaptive approach provides the necessary flexibility to discover the solution. Question 72. A project is consistently experiencing delays due to unexpected hardware failures and network outages. The project manager has a contingency reserve, but it's quickly depleting. Which PMBOK 7 performance domain should the project manager primarily focus on to address the root cause? A. Team performance domain. B. Planning performance domain. C. Uncertainty performance domain. D. Measurement performance domain. Answer: C. Uncertainty performance domain. The uncertainty performance domain deals with risks and opportunities. Frequent unexpected hardware failures and network outages are operational risks that are consuming the contingency reserve. The project manager needs to reevaluate the risk management plan, identify the root causes of these failures, e.g., aging infrastructure, inadequate maintenance, and develop more effective mitigation strategies rather than just relying on the contingency reserve. Proactive risk identification and mitigation are essential for managing unexpected events and preserving contingency. Question 73. A project manager has just discovered that a regulatory change, recently enacted, will directly impact a critical deliverable. This change was not anticipated during initial planning. How should the project manager respond, aligning with the planning performance domain? A. Ignore the change and hope it doesn't affect the project. B. Immediately implement the change without assessing its impact. C. Update the project plan to incorporate the regulatory changes, assess the impact on scope, schedule, and cost, and communicate with stakeholders. D. Blame the regulatory body for the unexpected change. Answer: C. Update the project plan to incorporate the regulatory changes, assess the impact on scope, schedule, and cost, and communicate with stakeholders. The planning performance domain involves continuously organizing, developing, and coordinating project work. When external factors like regulatory changes impact the project manager must reevaluate and update the project plan to reflect these new realities. This includes assessing the impact on all baselines, scope, schedule, cost, and communicating transparently with stakeholders, ensuring the plan remains relevant and achievable. Project planning is an ongoing process that adapts to changing circumstances. Question 74. A project manager observes that team members frequently express frustration due to unclear decision-making authority and lack of constructive feedback from management. This is hindering their ability to perform independently. Which PMBOK 7 performance domain should the project manager prioritize improving? A. Planning performance domain. B. Project work performance domain. C. Team performance domain. D. Delivery performance domain. Answer: C. Team performance domain. The team performance domain focuses on guiding and motivating project team members, ensuring they have a supportive environment to perform effectively. Unclear decision-making and a lack of feedback directly impact team morale, autonomy, and growth. The project manager needs to clarify roles, empower the team, and establish mechanisms for regular, constructive feedback to foster a healthier and more productive team environment. Empowering your team and providing clear guidance helps them perform at their best. Question 75. The project manager receives feedback that while the project's outputs are delivered on time, they often don't fully solve the underlying business problem the customer is facing. Which PMBOK 7 performance domain needs more attention? A. Planning performance domain. B. Project work performance domain. C. Delivery performance domain. D. Measurement performance domain. Answer: C. Delivery performance domain. The delivery performance domain is concerned with achieving the project's scope and quality objectives to deliver the intended business value. If outputs are on time but don't solve the core business problem, it indicates a disconnect in delivering true value or achieving desired outcomes. The project manager needs to reassess how value is defined, ensure continuous alignment with business objectives, and potentially refine user stories or requirements to truly address the customer's needs. True delivery means solving the business problem, not just producing outputs. Question 76. During a project, a key stakeholder changes their mind about a critical feature, wanting to revert to an earlier design. This change would require significant rework. What should the project manager do, considering the project work performance domain? A. Immediately revert to the earlier design to satisfy the stakeholder. B. Refuse the change, stating it's too late in the project. C. Document the change request, assess the impact on scope, schedule, and cost, and discuss the trade-offs with the stakeholder, possibly requiring formal approval. D. Instruct the team to implement the change secretly to avoid formal processes. Answer: C. Document the change request, assess the impact on scope, schedule, and cost, and discuss the trade-offs with the stakeholder, possibly requiring formal approval. The project work performance domain involves managing changes and adapting project activities. When a significant change request arises, especially one requiring rework, the project manager must formally assess its impact on the project's baselines and resources. This ensures that the decision to incorporate the change is informed, transparent, and aligned with project objectives, rather than causing uncontrolled scope creep or disruption. All significant changes to project work should be managed systematically and with transparency. Question 77. The project manager for a critical software system is in the early stages and needs to ensure that all potential data security threats are identified and assessed. They plan to involve cybersecurity experts and conduct vulnerability assessments. Which PMBOK 7 performance domain is most relevant to these activities? A. Planning performance domain. B. Delivery performance domain. C. Uncertainty performance domain. D. Stakeholder performance domain. Answer: C. Uncertainty performance domain. The uncertainty performance domain focuses on managing risks and opportunities. Identifying potential data security threats and conducting vulnerability assessments are core activities for proactively identifying and assessing potential negative uncertainties, risks, that could impact the project. This early and systematic approach helps the project manager develop appropriate response plans to mitigate these threats. Proactive identification of threats is crucial for managing project uncertainty. Question 78. A project manager is leading a large, traditional construction project. The project is currently behind schedule due to resource unavailability from a functional department. To get back on track, the project manager needs to negotiate for dedicated resources and update the project schedule. Which PMBOK 7 performance domain is primarily at play here? A. Team performance domain. B. Planning performance domain. C. Project work performance domain. D. Measurement performance domain. Answer: B. Planning performance domain. The planning performance domain involves organizing, developing, and coordinating project work, including resource allocation and schedule management. Negotiating for resources and updating the project schedule directly relates to refining and maintaining the project plan to ensure effective execution. This reactive planning ensures that the project adapts to new realities and has a clear path forward to recover from deviations. Planning is an iterative process, constantly adjusting to maintain project viability. Question 79. During project execution, the project manager notices that communication between the technical team and the business analysts is poor, leading to misinterpretations of requirements. What action should the project manager prioritize to improve this situation, aligning with the project work performance domain? A. Implement a strict hierarchical communication structure. B. Facilitate regular cross-functional meetings, introduce visual communication tools, and encourage direct interaction. C. Assign a single person to be the only point of contact between the two groups. D. Increase the number of formal written reports. Answer: B. Facilitate regular cross-functional meetings, introduce visual communication tools, and encourage direct interaction. The project work performance domain focuses on effectively carrying out project activities, which relies heavily on clear communication and collaboration. Misinterpretations of requirements indicate a breakdown in information flow between teams. Facilitating direct, frequent, and visual communication helps bridge the gap, ensuring everyone is aligned on the work being performed and its intent. Improving communication channels directly enhances the efficiency and quality of project work. Question 80. A project manager identifies that a new competitor has emerged, offering a similar product with advanced features. This presents a potential threat to the project's value proposition upon delivery. How should the project manager address this, considering the uncertainty performance domain? A. Ignore the competitor, as the project is already defined. B. Immediately add all competitor features to the project scope, regardless of impact. C. Assess the competitor's impact on the project's market viability, potentially identifying new opportunities or mitigating strategies, and discuss with stakeholders. D. Discredit the competitor's product to stakeholders. Answer: C. Assess the competitor's impact on the project's market viability, potentially identifying new opportunities or mitigating strategies, and discuss with stakeholders. The uncertainty performance domain includes both threats and opportunities. A new competitor is a significant external uncertainty. The project manager must assess the threat it poses to the project's success and identify potential opportunities, e.g., learning from their features, differentiating. Discussing this with stakeholders allows for an informed decision on whether to adapt the project strategy to maintain its competitive edge and value. Proactively assessing external market changes helps manage uncertainty and capitalize on new opportunities. Question 81. A project manager is reviewing feedback from a post-implementation survey for a recently delivered system. Users report a positive experience with the system's core functionality, but highlight a persistent performance bottleneck during peak usage times. How should the project manager interpret this, focusing on the delivery performance domain? A. The project was a complete success as core functionality is positive. B. The project failed due to the performance bottleneck. C. While the project delivered functional scope, the performance bottleneck indicates a partial failure in delivering the full intended value, requiring further action. D. The performance issue is an operational problem, not a project delivery issue. Answer: C. While the project delivered functional scope, the performance bottleneck indicates a partial failure in delivering the full intended value, requiring further action. The delivery performance domain emphasizes achieving the intended business value and desired outcomes. While core functionality is positive, a significant performance bottleneck during peak usage directly impacts the system's utility and the value it provides. This indicates that while the scope was delivered, the full value was not realized, highlighting a need for further optimization or follow-up to truly meet the project's ultimate objectives. True delivery means fulfilling the value proposition, not just the functional requirements. Question 82. A newly formed Agile team is struggling to self-organize and make collective decisions. The project manager observes that individuals often wait for direction and shy away from conflict. Which action best aligns with improving performance in the team performance domain? A. Dictate all decisions to the team to speed up progress. B. Implement a reward system for individual contributions to encourage competition. C. Coach the team on Agile principles, encourage active participation, and facilitate conflict resolution techniques to build psychological safety. D. Replace team members who are not immediately self-organizing. Answer: C. Coach the team on Agile principles, encourage active participation, and facilitate conflict resolution techniques to build psychological safety. The team performance domain focuses on fostering a high-performing and collaborative team environment. When a new Agile team struggles with self-organization, the project manager's role is to act as a servant leader, coaching them on Agile values, encouraging direct communication, and building psychological safety. This allows the team to develop trust, openly share ideas, and collectively make decisions. Building a self-organizing team requires patience, coaching, and a supportive environment. Question 83. The project manager is reviewing an updated risk register and notes that a significant number of new technical risks have been identified. These risks could potentially impact the feasibility of a critical feature. How should the project manager address this, within the uncertainty performance domain? A. Dismiss the new risks, as they might never occur. B. Immediately halt development on the critical feature until all risks are eliminated. C. Prioritize detailed analysis of the new risks, develop specific response strategies, and communicate the updated risk profile to relevant stakeholders. D. Transfer all responsibility for these risks to the technical lead. Answer: C. Prioritize detailed analysis of the new risks, develop specific response strategies, and communicate the updated risk profile to relevant stakeholders. The uncertainty performance domain is all about proactively addressing risks and opportunities. When new significant risks are identified, the project manager must prioritize their detailed analysis to understand their impact and likelihood. Developing specific response strategies, mitigation, avoidance, transference, acceptance, and communicating these updates to stakeholders ensures that the project remains prepared for potential disruptions. Continuous risk assessment and communication are vital for managing project uncertainty effectively. Question 84. A project team is developing a highly innovative product where the exact technical solution will emerge through iterative experimentation. The project manager needs to select a development approach that allows for flexibility and continuous learning. Which approach is most appropriate, according to the development approach and life cycle performance domain? A. Predictive. B. Iterative. C. Hybrid. D. Incremental. Answer: B. Iterative. The development approach and life cycle performance domain describes how the project progresses. For highly innovative projects where the technical solution is unknown and will emerge through experimentation, an iterative approach is most suitable. This allows the team to work in short cycles, build prototypes, test assumptions, and learn from each iteration, constantly refining the solution as new information becomes available. When technical solutions are uncertain, an iterative approach embraces learning and adaptation. Question 85. A project manager is comparing the current burndown chart with the historical velocity of the team. They notice that the team's velocity has been steadily decreasing over the last 3 sprints, while the burndown chart shows a consistent struggle to meet sprint goals. Which PMBOK 7 performance domain is most directly focused on this analysis? A. Project work performance domain. B. Planning performance domain. C. Measurement performance domain. D. Team performance domain. Answer: C. Measurement performance domain. The measurement performance domain focuses on evaluating project progress and performance to inform decision-making. Analyzing burndown charts and team velocity are key performance indicators in Agile projects. A decreasing velocity and struggle to meet sprint goals indicate a need for a deeper dive into performance metrics to understand the underlying issues and make informed adjustments to planning or team support. Effective measurement provides the data needed to understand performance trends and make necessary adjustments. Question 86. A new product development project is about to start. The project manager needs to ensure that the necessary talent and resources are available when needed. This involves identifying required skills, potentially recruiting new staff, and allocating them to specific roles. Which PMBOK 7 performance domain is primarily at play? A. Project work performance domain. B. Planning performance domain. C. Team performance domain. D. Delivery performance domain. Answer: B. Planning performance domain. The planning performance domain involves organizing, developing, and coordinating project work. Identifying required skills, recruiting staff, and allocating resources are all fundamental activities in resource planning, which is a key component of overall project planning. This ensures the project has the necessary capabilities to execute its work effectively. Thorough resource planning is crucial for ensuring the team has the right people with the right skills at the right time. Question 87. The project manager for a major infrastructure project discovers that local community groups, initially supportive, are now organizing protests due to concerns about environmental impact. This unaddressed concern could significantly delay the project. Which PMBOK 7 performance domain is most relevant for the project manager to address this issue? A. Delivery performance domain. B. Planning performance domain. C. Uncertainty performance domain. D. Stakeholder performance domain. Answer: D. Stakeholder performance domain. The stakeholder performance domain focuses on effectively engaging and managing the expectations and concerns of individuals or groups impacted by the project. The community groups are now actively resistant stakeholders whose concerns were either not adequately addressed or evolved. The project manager must proactively engage them to understand their concerns, address their environmental impact, and find solutions to regain their support and avoid further delays. Proactive and empathetic stakeholder engagement is critical for mitigating resistance and maintaining project progress. Question 88. A project team is implementing a new customer relationship management (CRM) system. After initial deployment, customer service agents report that the new system is actually slowing down their call handling times, despite promises of efficiency gains. Which PMBOK 7 performance domain is most directly implicated by this feedback? A. Planning performance domain. B. Project work performance domain. C. Delivery performance domain. D. Measurement performance domain. Answer: C. Delivery performance domain. The delivery performance domain emphasizes achieving the intended business value and desired outcomes. If the new CRM system is slowing down call handling times, it means the project has failed to deliver its promised efficiency gains and, therefore, its intended value. The project manager needs to address this gap between the delivered output and the expected outcome to ensure the project ultimately realizes its business objectives. True project delivery focuses on achieving the promised benefits and value. Question 89. A project manager is leading a software development project where the final product's features are expected to be refined based on user feedback from multiple beta releases. The project team is encouraged to learn and adapt. Which development approach and life cycle is most suitable for this project? A. Predictive. B. Iterative and incremental. C. Waterfall. D. Agile with fixed scope. Answer: B. Iterative and incremental. The development approach and life cycle performance domain describes how a project progresses. When a project plans for multiple beta releases and expects features to be refined based on user feedback, an iterative and incremental approach is ideal. This allows the team to deliver working components frequently, gather feedback, and continuously build upon previous iterations, ensuring the final product meets evolving user needs. Iterative and incremental approaches embrace feedback and continuous adaptation for optimal value. Question 90. A project manager is reviewing a project's financial health. They notice that the contingency reserve is significantly depleted due to unforeseen hardware failures. The project is still in its early stages. What should the project manager do, aligning with the uncertainty performance domain? A. Immediately request more budget from the sponsor. B. Ignore the depletion, hoping no more risks occur. C. Analyze the root cause of the hardware failures, update the risk management plan, and consider options to replenish or re-evaluate the contingency reserve. D. Transfer the remaining funds to a different project. Answer: C. Analyze the root cause of the hardware failures, update the risk management plan, and consider options to replenish or re-evaluate the contingency reserve. The uncertainty performance domain focuses on managing risks and opportunities, including effective use and management of contingency reserves. If the reserve is depleting, it's crucial to understand why by performing a root cause analysis of the hardware failures. This allows the project manager to update the risk management plan, implement more effective mitigation strategies, and make an informed decision about whether the reserve needs replenishment or re-evaluation for future risks. Proactive analysis of risk reserve usage is vital for effective uncertainty management. Question 91. A project manager is assembling a new project team. They identify the need for specific technical skills, consider team dynamics, and plan for cross-training to build redundant capabilities. Which PMBOK 7 performance domain is most prominent in these activities? A. Planning performance domain. B. Project work performance domain. C. Team performance domain. D. Measurement performance domain. Answer: C. Team performance domain. The team performance domain focuses on organizing, guiding, and motivating project team members, ensuring they have the necessary skills and environment to perform effectively. Assembling a new team, identifying skill needs, considering team dynamics, and planning for cross-training are all fundamental activities in developing and nurturing a high-performing project team. Building a strong team starts with careful consideration of skills and dynamics. Question 92. A project is nearing its closure. The project manager is ensuring that all final deliverables are formally accepted by the client and that the project benefits are being transitioned to the operational teams. Which PMBOK 7 performance domain is primarily concerned with these activities? A. Planning performance domain. B. Project work performance domain. C. Delivery performance domain. D. Measurement performance domain. Answer: C. Delivery performance domain. The delivery performance domain emphasizes achieving the project's scope and quality objectives and ultimately realizing the intended business value. Formal acceptance of deliverables and transitioning project benefits to operational teams are crucial final steps to confirm that the project has successfully delivered its intended outcomes and that the value can now be realized by the organization. Successfully completing and transitioning deliverables is the ultimate goal of project delivery. Question 93. During a monthly project review, the project manager notes that a significant number of defects are being discovered late in the development cycle, leading to costly rework. The team's productivity is also lower than anticipated. Which PMBOK 7 performance domain is most directly concerned with addressing these issues? A. Planning performance domain. B. Project work performance domain. C. Measurement performance domain. D. Uncertainty performance domain. Answer: B. Project work performance domain. The project work performance domain focuses on executing project activities and managing resources to achieve project objectives, including quality and efficiency. A high number of late-stage defects and low productivity indicate issues with how the actual work is being performed. The project manager needs to investigate the work processes, identify root causes, e.g., lack of upfront quality checks, inefficient tools, and implement improvements to optimize the work. Improving the way the team performs its tasks is central to this domain. Question 94. A project manager is initiating a large-scale IT project. They are interviewing various department heads to gather their expectations, concerns, and potential contributions to the project. This activity primarily falls under which PMBOK 7 performance domain? A. Planning performance domain. B. Project work performance domain. C. Stakeholder performance domain. D. Team performance domain. Answer: C. Stakeholder performance domain. The stakeholder performance domain focuses on activities related to individuals, groups, or organizations who have an interest in or impact on the project. Interviewing department heads to understand their expectations and concerns is a crucial part of identifying stakeholders and assessing their needs, which is foundational for effective stakeholder engagement throughout the project lifecycle. Understanding stakeholders' perspectives from the outset is crucial for their successful engagement. Question 95. A project is using a hybrid approach. The technical core is being developed incrementally, while the integration with legacy systems follows a more predictive schedule. The project manager needs to ensure both parts are synchronized. Which development approach and life cycle performance domain aspect is key? A. Rigid adherence to a single chosen methodology. B. Treating each part as a separate, independent project. C. Integrating the different phases and approaches to ensure overall coherence and timely delivery. D. Letting each sub-team manage its own schedule without central coordination. Answer: C. Integrating the different phases and approaches to ensure overall coherence and timely delivery. The development approach and life cycle performance domain encompasses how the project progresses and adapts to its context. In a hybrid approach, the key challenge and success factor lie in effectively integrating the different methodologies and phases. The project manager must ensure synchronization and coherence between the incremental and predictive parts to achieve overall project objectives and timely delivery. Successfully managing a hybrid approach requires careful integration of its different components. Question 96. During a review, a project manager identifies that the project's carbon footprint is higher than acceptable corporate standards, despite meeting all functional requirements. This was not explicitly measured before. Which PMBOK 7 performance domain should be leveraged to address this going forward? A. Planning performance domain. B. Project work performance domain. C. Delivery performance domain. D. Measurement performance domain. Answer: D. Measurement performance domain. The measurement performance domain focuses on evaluating project progress and performance to inform decision-making, including aspects like sustainability and social impact. If the carbon footprint is an issue, it needs to be measured to understand its current state and track improvements. Establishing a metric for the carbon footprint and monitoring it allows the project to assess its environmental performance and take corrective actions. You can only manage what you measure, so defining new metrics for sustainability is essential. Question 97. The project manager for a major system upgrade project discovers that the system's performance, post-upgrade, is significantly slower than anticipated under heavy load, impacting user experience. This was not foreseen. Which PMBOK 7 performance domain needs to be re-evaluated for future projects? A. Planning performance domain. B. Project work performance domain. C. Uncertainty performance domain. D. Team performance domain. Answer: C. Uncertainty performance domain. The uncertainty performance domain deals with risks and opportunities. Unexpected poor system performance under heavy load is an unforeseen technical risk that was not adequately identified or assessed during the project. This suggests a weakness in the project's ability to anticipate and manage potential threats related to performance and scalability. Improving risk identification and assessment processes for performance-related uncertainties is crucial for future projects. Learning from unforeseen issues is key to improving risk management for the future. Question 98. A project manager is leading an Agile team. They consistently observe that team members are struggling to resolve technical dependencies between their work independently and frequently rely on the project manager to mediate. What action should the project manager take to improve this within the team performance domain? A. Resolve all technical dependencies for the team to speed up work. B. Mandate that no team member can interact with another without prior approval. C. Coach the team on cross-functional collaboration and empowerment, fostering collective problem-solving and self-organization. D. Hire a dedicated technical lead to manage all dependencies. Answer: C. Coach the team on cross-functional collaboration and empowerment, fostering collective problem-solving and self-organization. The team performance domain emphasizes fostering a collaborative and high-performing project team, which includes empowering them to self-organize and resolve their own issues. If the team is overly reliant on the project manager for technical dependency resolution, the project manager should coach them on how to collaborate more effectively and collectively solve these problems, building their autonomy and problem-solving skills. Empowering the team to self-organize and resolve issues collaboratively is crucial for agility and team growth. Question 99. The project manager for a product launch notices that the marketing materials prepared do not align with the product's actual capabilities, potentially confusing customers. Which PMBOK 7 performance domain is primarily at risk due to this misalignment? A. Planning performance domain. B. Project work performance domain. C. Delivery performance domain. D. Measurement performance domain. Answer: C. Delivery performance domain. The delivery performance domain emphasizes achieving the project's scope, quality, and desired outcomes to deliver the intended value. If marketing materials misrepresent the product's capabilities, it directly impacts the customer's understanding and potentially their satisfaction and adoption, thus jeopardizing the intended value delivery. Ensuring that all aspects of the project, including communication and marketing, align with the actual product and its value proposition is crucial for successful delivery. Aligning all project outputs, including marketing, with the true value delivered is essential for successful product delivery. Question 100. A project manager is leading a large, multi-year project. To ensure long-term success, they establish a robust project governance framework, including clear decision-making authorities, regular review cycles, and a defined escalation path. Which PMBOK 7 performance domain is being primarily addressed? A. Team performance domain. B. Project work performance domain. C. Planning performance domain. D. Delivery performance domain. Answer: B. Project work performance domain. The project work performance domain involves carrying out the project activities and managing resources to achieve project objectives, which includes managing project governance and oversight. Establishing a robust governance framework with clear decision-making, review cycles, and escalation paths ensures that the project work is managed effectively and that the project remains aligned with organizational objectives throughout its long life cycle. Effective governance is essential for ensuring that project work is performed correctly and adheres to organizational standards.